Hi, welcome to the Soul Mystery School. A deep dive into the Egyptian mysteries and into discovering yourself and applying the Egypt mythological archetypal explorations to everyday life and your own awakening and stepping into your own truth and authenticity. I'm Dr. Kathia Roberts, and I'm your facilitator, your teacher, your mentor. I'm a holistic doctor and a natural medicine woman, sound healer, and I'll be taking you on this sacred journey of harvesting and reclaiming your wholeness. So please enjoy this series that I've curated for you, traveling to each temple and also exploring the Netaru, and just be with what comes up for you at this time. And each time there's a deeper layer that you can explore. You can do the sessions as workshops individually, or you can do it as a whole series. So set an intention, create a sacred space, ask permission to enter this circle and the temple, and then enjoy the meditations in that space so you can get the most out of it. You can also create an altar or focal point, and we'll give some suggestions on that, on how you could do that to attune more to those frequencies. And please share this with your friends and colleagues and family members, and join me on a trip to Egypt so that you can experience this for yourself and really initiate and anchor it in. And thank you for being called and showing up for yourself. Take care and enjoy. So now I'm going to open up with just a meditation I wrote for in honor of Isis, and just sort of all the frequencies and essences that's coming through at this time. Just connect to your breath and your heart and feel into your body. Feel into this space now and set an intention for tonight. Daughter of Nut, of Geb, she who midwives, she who heals, keeper of wisdom and secrets, who choose to share, love and protect those who dare, Mother Goddess of love, Goddess of divine feminine, Lady of Eminence, whose home is her shrine. Daughter of Warren, who touches the fire, who burns full of passion and desire. Goddess within, goddess surround. Hold and keeps us safe, and all that is found. I am yours as you are mine, as it will be until the end of time. Let those words integrate, those frequencies. Just feel her here with her wings enveloping you, holding you. Maybe any of the other Netaru showing up for you, or you're working with any of the other Netaru as archetypes. Thank them for being here, and guiding you and showing you the way and providing you with wisdom. Also thank yourself for showing up. Your car and your bar. Spiritual body and your physical body, your energetic body, subtle body. Just feel into that and grounding now. I always associate Isis with a rainbow. Maybe you have a rainbow as a grounding cord into the earth to get her father. And you can just release whatever you've been holding. You can also release it into her wings. She can hold that for you. Hold sorrow, sadness, anger, confusion. See what comes up that needs to be released and given over to her right now. This grounding to be released through her wings to Nut, Mother Nut, or through the ground to get. As we release, we also blessing and we open up for receiving. Now you can open up your heart as well. Just receive. Receive the love and healing. Just pull back all your energy and areas where maybe you've been too forceful. You really have been trying to will into manifestation or existence. Just pull that all back. This is all about the divine feminine, is about flow and the right timing, patience. feel that and connect with your breath, and also be aware how the breath may reflect areas where you're holding on and being restricted. So just take a few deep breaths, breathe out fully. You can also give yourself permission to breathe out fully and to receive the new breath. It's always good to do some body talk. Let our bodies know it's okay to relax into it. And it's okay to receive. It's safe to receive. And sometimes we just need that reassurance. So just breathe into that. And then you can slowly come back to this space. Yes, stretch, and maybe, just if anything came in and you want to jot it down in your journal, you can do that now too. I'm going to kind of I have a screen sharing right now. And as I actually talk about, what's been coming through to share with you, you can just kind of glance at these images because it just captures so much of the essence there. So let me just keep a lookout on my chat if you guys are. Oh, I can't see the chat well if I'm sharing. So just wave to me if there was something that I needed to be aware of. So Philae and Isis. So what's coming through is about pure love consciousness. And the divine feminine principle is all about that unity of that pure love consciousness. That marriage, the divine masculine and divine feminine, the Ka and Ba. And it creates this magical alchemy. And this is what I love about in the ancient Egyptian mysteries is you have the Ka and the Ba, and it's the opposite sex. And also, if you believe in past life regression, most of us have had, or we souls choose to come in as a male and a female, to have that embodied experience of either sexes. And also, so we all have masculine aspects and feminine aspects. Oh, Anita, and there's the cat too that was visiting with me at Philae. So we both have this divine masculine and divine feminine aspects. And it's about bringing that into unity and, harnessing aspects of both when we need it. And males too, it's not, it's like we're waking up to the matriarchy now, and also there's age of Aquarius, and we are able to connect more with that divine feminine. Males too, and this is something I saw while we were in the Holy of Holies, especially when you're with a group where there's males too. It's like they open up. It's such a heart opening place. And they come to the mother. This is the high holies of the mother, the great mother, the cosmic mother. And where you can just bear all your sorrows and your hardships. And she understands loss. We talked about that in our very, very first class at the beginning of the mystery school about her loss initially with Osiris and how she mourned him, you know, basically crying the Nile into existence. And she's a mother. She's the cosmic mother. There she's, you know, with Horus. And she's the Virgin Mother. So for me, because of this cosmic mother archetype, she's very similar in energy for me to the Virgin Mother, Mother Mary. And then also, I don't know if any of you know Ama, which is that you can go and receive darshan from, which is hugs. So she's an Indian guru. But, you know, the first time I went to see Ama and also connected with Isis, I felt like, you know, it felt like the Christ consciousness to me. You know, it felt like that unconditional love, just what I felt when I was like deep into Christianity and became a reborn Christian, you know, a long time ago. And I felt like it could only exist in that context, that religious context or spiritual context. And I thought I wouldn't experience that again if I went outside of that. But then I was like, this is infinite energy it predates Christianity. And it's this pure love consciousnse. And the great mother archetype really represents that. And, you know, even I study Algonquin too. I have a Native American teacher. And even in the Native American practices, you know, they have this, in all different kinds of traditions, they have this mother, cosmic mother or grand mother goddess, goddess or mother archetype that is sort of like provides for us all, you know, in this love. And the source creator. So that creative energy. So let's talk a little bit, seeing that we're on this now, about the strengths and the qualities of the mother. So as you can see here, you know, if you think of a mother, and we all have experienced the mother within ourselves, our mother, regardless of your relationship to mother, but also how you see the mother archetype, you know, or what it should consist of tenderness, nurturance, protections, selflessness, and generosity. And then you also have kind of like the other side of it, there's the strength and persistence and patience and wisdom, courage and peace. And something that's been coming through for me lately, and the way she's been helping me, is, you know, I've just been like in a hard place emotionally. I've been a lot of waves of loss and grieving and deep sadness have been present for me. And it was really about, you know, sometimes we look at who's doing what to you, or what we can get into that victim narrative, but it's also how can we approach the situation from that divine feminine principle with tenderness, nurturance, selflessness, and giving generosity, regardless of how bad it may seem. And then to be persistent and patient and have courage and peace. So this is what I'm working on with her right now to gain that. So let me just go to some other images as well. You know, in the water, so this temple, as we've said in that very first class, was all underwater. So there's very much that water element, that fluidity and interchangeability. You know, if you think of the water element, you know, it's so interchangeable. You know, it freezes, you have snow, you have ice, has these different forms, but it's the same element. And how it can change. And also, if you think of waves, it's the ebbs and flows of water, you know, and even this, it was like when they built the Aswan Dam, this was all covered in water and they had to move it. So that's quite, you know, it just shows us about this, and it's everlasting, you know, just this theme of the mother will always be there. We all come from the mother. So just want to invite you also to think of this in, you know, with your relationships as well. How you apply this divine feminine with your relationships. And we're going to go into the journey after I've just shown you the images and the video. We'll go, you know, we'll tune into that more. Then there's also this serpent energy, the caduceus. You know, this is present too. So I'm just showing the staff with the caduceus, you know, which is sort of the, you know, the medicine staff. But Isis was a magician. So this is something she shared with Thoth. So Thoth is sort of like representing the masculine aspect and she the feminine aspect. And also the priests, they had staffs that had the snakes, and the cobra is the holy cobra, and Isis had the Uraeus crown on her head. Let me see if I can find a photo of that too. And there's the cobra. You know, and this is a sign of protection and power. You know, she was seen as a magician and she could manifest. And, you know, she picked up all the pieces of Osiris and put it back together. So this is the thing about the divine feminine. If we really honor these cycles and the flow of our femininity, if you like, or, you know, also how it aligns with the moon and the seasons, we are able to be in our power because we're able to use that energy when it's most needed or when we have it. Otherwise, we're just pushing, and we are exhausted. We have adrenal failure, so to speak. And the ancient Egyptians learned to trust. You know, if you think about the flood they had each year, they had to trust. And they prayed to Isis by the waters before a flood was coming. The inundation, they prayed for protection, because, you know, most of them will flood and some lives will be lost. But they learned to trust, because from that death, there was rebirth. And this is what we have each month as women. We have this when we shed, you know, it's a dying off, it's a death, and then a rebirth. And even if you don't have menses anymore, you still have that cyclical nature. You still align with the moon, because the moon does that for us, for any of those that work with the moon energy. And we all should work with the moon energy. You know, I have a calendar and plan accordingly. Like, you know, obviously the full moon is more outwardly celebratory, you know, your celebration and your giving and receiving. But when it's the new moon, that's when you go within. That's your magical time. That's when you can, like, you need to spend time for yourself and be alone and take time for introspection. And we don't do that because, you know, our lives is so full. So we need to take time. And this is something that, you know, you see when you go to, so these temples is just, you know, you ask permission, you honor, you treat everything as sacred, you make an offering, you know, you give incense. And really to approach the divine feminine is to approach all our life like that. Our bodies are sacred. I don't know if I've shared with you before, but I did a medical internship in China one summer. And I was very fascinated at the time. This was actually probably when you were in Egypt, Anita. It was in 1996. No, 1998. And I was fascinated with the ancient culture of China. And what I learned in the hospitals and all these professors and doctors in the hospitals is practicing Qigong. They practice for hours, the whole morning, before they have a shift in the afternoon, attending to their, let me stop sharing so I can see all. So they practice on themselves first, and the students practice on them before they see patients, so they can receive. And everything had meaning, like what they do, when they do it, how they do it, like how they dress in the morning, like putting it over the left side first, then the right side, what they eat that morning. It correlated with the season. It correlated with what they needed as far as their, you know, and actually, if you look at our Vedic medicine, Unani Tib, it's very similar in Chinese medicine in the sense of, you know, you have your elements that you are off in, you know, whether you have too much heat or too much dampness or too much dryness, and then you would eat accordingly. So this is just what I'm saying about how everything has meaning and purpose. And this is how the ancients lived. And we have lost that. And this is why, you know, I feel what shamanism has brought alive for me, and what this kind of work, whether you like into, you know, the goddess movement, or, you know, what kind of spirituality awakening you into, is about getting back to everything being sacred. Unfortunately, I think what takes away from that is this element of, okay, if it's your livelihood, it's not like in the old days where a priestess or a healer, the whole village would have taken care of them. They wouldn't have to go out and sell themselves on social media. It was like this was a privilege, and the village took care of them. So it was easy to fulfill that role if if you're being called to offer in your gifts. You know, because the whole community or tribe took care of you in that way. Now, I think what gets, you know, what I'm having a struggle with my own divine feminine and divine masculine, is this, you know, what's being called to put myself out there so people know this is what I do, to utilize my services. Because, you know, it's, you know, or it should sustain me, shall I say. You know, yeah, it's just, and it's a shame that it's become that, because it takes away from the, you know, there was like Isis, I always connect beforehand, and I was like, oh, should I do a live on Instagram? But I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And she was like, no, just be here and meditate and ground in. Like, you know, you don't always have to go out and do that. But and it takes away. So what I'm inviting you to do is really to look at ways, and it's not a big production. You know, as a mother, you know, we don't have much time for big productions of things, right? I mean, the kids are on top of you the minute you wake up and then you're so exhausted by the time they go to bed, you're like, you have no room for anything else. So, you know, whatever that connection or that tuning into your heart and your womb and that divine feminine space needs to be like a quick check-in and feeling into it. And just communicating to those parts of you and saying, I feel you, I know you're there. Let me breathe into this space. And it can be a quick 5-minute thing. It's just bringing awareness there is so powerful. Bringing breath there is so powerful. It doesn't have to be, because a lot of times I'm like thinking, oh, it's not going to be as potent because I didn't create this big altar. You know, I have some sisters that's like every day is a different altar for however it aligns with the moon, with the stars, you know, it's a Venus altar and then a you know, like all these things. And that's great, but I just don't have time to do that. So, you know, so even in your mind's eye, if you have something symbolic that relates to what's coming in, and this is what I want to actually share with you. You know, I shared this post on Instagram just about how kids are actually so connected with source and spirit, and they like our own oracle, or they can be if we allow them to be, right? So my son, I've never read this book to him. He's never seen it before. All of a sudden, I was really sad for a few days. He came back, he picked up this book. Hello, Happiness. It's a book that my mom gave me, and I was unpacking some stuff from my mom. I mean, she passed 8 years ago, but I was like, I don't know. She's just been really present for me. And actually, she was really present for me at Isis temple in Philae. And he was like, Mommy, this is our reading for tonight. So I opened it, and this is what it said. So I'm going to just read this to you. So just in this moment, close your eyes and just receive this. Just receive this. And just also think how your loved ones, you know, just allow them to also show and be messengers from spirit. Where there is love, pain breathes. Tears smile. Hurt softens. Guilt loses its edge. Judgment forgets to judge. Fear is no longer afraid. Separation is over. Where there is love, you are there. And I just felt like this was Isis speaking to me through my son, through this book that's so old, that was tucked away, that he found in a way. And I'm just going to read it one more time for you, so you can receive it, truly receive it. Where there is love, pain breathes. Tears smile. Hurt softens. Guilt loses its edge. Judgment forgets to judge. Fear is no longer afraid. Separation is over. Where there is love, you are there. What a gift. What a gift that was. I was in tears. What a gift that was. And then when I draw the collective card just for tonight, I'll just show you the card from my Isis deck. This was what came in. Serpent of fire. Do not assess your current ability based on past standards, as they no longer apply to you. You are stronger and more powerful now than you have ever been before. You need to learn afresh what you are capable of, and Isis helps you now. And I'll share these in Facebook too. And, you know, it's just that I was running this old narrative lately again. And it was just a reminder that the old standards does not apply, because I've changed. You know, going to Egypt, working with the Neteru, doing these things have changed. And sometimes I think, oh, and I can quickly get into judging myself and think I'm still there. And this is what I'm holding. And it's not, because it no longer applies to me and the standards no longer apply to me. And it's just that realization. And this is the thing what this divine feminine teaches us, is that harvesting of wholeness, this magical alchemy between the Ka and the Ba, this unity of just realizing that we, this pure, infinite love consciousness. You know, and if we see every other being like that, you know, we will not be in judgment of them, and we can hold space for them. And it's really hard because, yeah, we're human and we get into our heads and the ego is hurt, and we just play off those triggers the whole time of where we used to be, but we're no longer there. We're just no longer there. So now with that, I'm just going to read you another thing that came to me as I was preparing. Let me just pull that up quickly. Signs you are awakening as the goddess within. Okay, I just want you to receive this. So I want you to sit and close your eyes. Because we want to embody this. So find yourself in the early morning hours at Isis's temple. Pre-dawn. You're asking permission to enter into her chapel, into her high holies, into her temple. You have an offering for her. And your offering is actually a commitment to yourself. It's agreements. This is what she's asked from you. For you to become your own priority. For you to not seek external validation to feel confident. For you to trust your inner wisdom. For you to become more psychic, owning your intuition. For you not to chase, beg, or force relationships. Make yourself small. For you to become the flow and trust the divine timing. for you to release lower vibrations with more ease, so that you may vibrate on a higher level. Big one now, for you to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself the way Goddess Isis would, with your mind, body, energy, and soul. For you to operate from the heart, not the mind. For you to feel, own, and embody that you are truly divine. To be open, to be a conduit, and to be able to trust and receive the downloads you are tuned into. Whether it's a light language, aka speaking in tongues. So as you open up your voice and these sounds are coming through, or words is coming through, speak it, utter it, sound it out. If you feel it in your body, and it's a specific ecstatic dance, it's making you move, and it's making you bring that Sekhem energy up, and you feel the snake energy coming through your whole body, that Kundalini energy, move with it, feel it, let it arouse you, breathe it into your creative projects. Maybe you feel you want to draw or paint or create something, be crafty. Make something. When it comes in, and this is the way we do in shamanism, it's spirit speaks to you. When you see like, oh, when you walk, you're on a meditative walk and you're like, oh wow, that will be nice in XYZ, or I could use this for that, or I could make this. Keep it, make that box. Keep the treasure box, and then sit with spirit and connect with Isis or the Neteru and ask, what shall this be? For what shall I use this? How does this want to be birthed into existence? We have the birthing chair at Philae, Isis's birthing chair. You can envision yourself sitting there, and just like she birthed Horus to be the god on earth, you can also birth into existence what needs to be served. So maybe now that's coming in, you're already seeing in your mind's eye something next for you to create. We are in the springtime, it's time for creation. So just see what Isis is showing you right now to create or birth. Maybe it is a instrument, tool, a healing tool. What's coming in? What light, frequencies, downloads is coming in right now, or sounds, even if there's sounds coming in afterwards, record it on your phone. Just asking you to trust. Reality shifts and people disappear from your life, especially now, especially during this time. It's been a hard time, a lot of losses of people you may have known for many years, but this time has shaken up everyone, and everyone is recalibrating, shifting, repositioning themselves, reaffirming, reframing, rewriting their stories and their narratives, or hopefully so. So do not be in judgment or be in attachment to that. Just trust that it's for the greater good and let it be. You let go with ease, not attach. You observe more. You become like Horus, flying above and soaring and being able to view what's going on. You feel neutral, like in Komombo, that place of neutrality, that still point, that center point where you can just be neutral. Be like, it's neither good or bad, it just is. It's, and you're just in that middle place. Observing. Your third eye opens. So take your attention to your third eye and pull it back a couple of inches. And just feel that open expanse of space. You can clear it out now, breathe into it. You embody unconditional Any judgment of yourself is substituted by accepting. You trust, associating with God and Goddess archetype. You awaken to your cosmic self. You're connecting with Nut, Mother of Isis, the sky goddess. Just feel into that expansiveness of the cosmos. You are awakening the divine within. Just feel that. And now you have made an oath to her that this is what you're gonna embody and what you're agreeing to and what you're accepting for yourself. And you speaking it, you're speaking your truth. You're speaking your sovereignty. You can see yourself however you want to make these agreements with her. And really with yourself, because the goddess is a higher aspect of you. So it's really making these agreements with yourself. So she's like the reflection of you, the goddess within, standing in front of you. So what do you speak to her now? What are you asking of her? How can she help and support you in fulfilling this, for being this for yourself? So now just let her wings wrap all around you and giving you that nourishment and that tenderness and that nurturance. And showing you how you can give that to yourself so you don't look for that anywhere else. You don't need anyone else to fulfill that for you. You just need yourself. So just know that and agree to that. Now you can just give yourself a hug and start connecting back to your breath. Back into this body. To the space, and you can make any notes of what came in for you, and just as sort of like a recap of everything that the Temple of Philae embodies for you and the wisdom it keeps. I'm going to share this video with you. just receive that, and yeah, we just honor the space, the sacred space. I honor all of you and the Netheroo for being here, and just to connect in this way again, to connect with these portals and with this wisdom. I'm honored, and I'm honored that you are here and being called for that too.